of the main track. Back up to the leaders.
Yes, indeed, and passing through areas that still have remnants of the Mount Pinatubo eruption, the Har areas. Not exactly a beautiful sight, but they remind...
Going straight off the front here. Again, it's Valdez trying to make a determined move and taking with him this time. Rider number 23, none other than Enrique Domingo. The big sprinter is going on a foray again. Now, a couple of days ago, Domingo was out front for most of the day. He won all of the day's prizes except the stage win on the road to Canabatuan. Second sprint coming up, 57.8. Now look at the quality of this man. He always maneuvers Valdez in front of him and then pops out from behind him and wins that sprint by lengths. Maximum so far today. And look at 5 points in the bag. He's the sprint winner last year and he's now beginning to challenge Valdez, the Adidas sprint leader, again in that competition.
Farmers in these parts are hoping for a good harvest, and so are our cyclists. Look at that, that's how hot the pavement is as we approach San Fernando Pampanga, here the 8th stage of the Marlboro Centennial Tour.
Still Enrique Domingo of the Philippine national team in the lead, and alongside him, the blue jersey, the figure of Placido Valdez. So hot is the weather, these two rivals are trying to hold off the whole field together. They are sharing the water, and I don't blame them. This is the third chasing group on the road here. There's number 22, Arnel Kinovich. Well, he made an initial mistake. He was left in the back bunch of the field at one stage, more than 4 minutes behind, which meant he had actually lost his second place overall to Zenzong of Malaysia. And now he's fighting his way back through the group. So it looks as though he's going to put matters to rights here. Let's watch them over the bridge. There's the two leaders going through. They're still holding on to a very useful lead here. They've been in the lead now for just over 40 kilometers. They've got 50 left to go. 50 very hot ones indeed. Next group on the road is the group containing the yellow jersey. There he is, Apollo Davadilia. But still, Kinovich not up here yet. So that 53-second gap is a little bit more at the moment between the top two in the race. Here is Kinovich trying to show three helpers to try and bridge now the back of the race to the front. And the message is he's closing in on the group ahead, Seb.
Quite a hot day for a very hot pursuit. As we take a look at the ride in the background, we are over this bridge again as we join Juan Davadilia.
Now this is the yellow jersey group, and I think just tacking on at the back, those four riders. Watch for the red jersey, here they come. So Kinovich has repaired the damage. There was a moment there I really didn't think he wasn't going to come back to this group. So the top two men are once again wheel for wheel and separated by just the 53 seconds they've lost so far in this race. Back up to the two leaders now, and it is still Placido Valdez. He's such a workhorse, Seb. He doesn't have to do too much work because Enrico Domingo again has taken advantage as he goes for the Centennial Swatch Sprint. 101.4 kilometers covered, and Enrico Domingo so far is keeping an absolute clean slate. He's won everything on the road.
Exactly, and again he has done that tactic of his, using Valdez as his fulcrum and then darting away like a flash.
Yes, Valdez really wants to rethink his tactics a little bit and try and maneuver Domingo in front when the sprint comes along, because obviously the man behind has all the advantages. Team car alongside from the Philippines, passing out the water. A couple of bags come over. It wouldn't surprise me in the least if Domingo doesn't share this either with his breakaway rival, because they both want to survive for the sprint now in Subic.
Is that the reason why Valdez cannot win the many stages as he may have wanted to? He burns himself out in the early parts?
I think he tried that little bit too hard. He attacks always very early on. He uses a massive amount of energy. He gets excited when he gets into the leading group, and he's never afraid to work. He has a very big heart indeed. But you've got to be a little bit race crafty if you're going to win as well.
We take our first look at Merculio Ramos, number 73 on the Central Luzon squad.
Now this is the little group of four that's got away from that yellow jersey group now. And they've got a couple of minutes difference between the two, as we are now 1 kilometer from the last sprint of the day. So this will put us up to 114 kilometers of the 148 covered. Now I wonder if there'll be any change at the front there, whether Valdez has learned anything from the 3 sprints he's lost already today to Enrique Domingo. Now the 4 chasers are being joined by 2 more here. So this is becoming a six-man chase group. None of the riders in this chase group are going to affect the overall situation of the race. And it looks to me as though there's a little bit of skillful cycling being done by the top two Philippines riders back in the bunch. They're not chasing down the men that to them don't matter today. Ronaldo Navarra is one of the movers in this six-man chase group. The others are Paterno Kertan, Nilo Estaya, Rossley from Malaysia, and we've also got here Merculio Ramos from the Central Luzon team. 2 minutes 43 is the latest time check. That's to the six chasers. It goes further to the yellow jersey. In fact, to 4 minutes 15 seconds now. So that group is dropping out of the hunt. These two riders beginning to look as though they're quite safe. There's Enrique Domingo. His face not telling us much, but believe me, these two riders are very, very hot and tired today.
By the way, Enrique Domingo is also from Pangasinan, really the birthplace of a lot of great cycling stars.
And you see what's happened again? Well, I was about to say he's put Valdez in front of him for the sprint, but he's come through almost voluntarily now. Now Valdez in the perfect position here to launch a sprint with the yellow sign. He's not even going to attempt it. He's going to give this one to Domingo, and he takes his third Adidas sprint of the day, and that is going to put him right up amongst the leaders in the competition, of which Valdez is currently up there along with Kermit. Here's the chasing group, so we're still waiting for the third place finisher in the sprint. That's the kilometre board we can see ahead there, so it's still a kilometre. So these riders about a kilometre and a half behind the two leaders on the road at the moment. The Malaysians have had a great day today. At one stage they had 4 men in the leading group, but the yellow jersey neutralised that by coming up to them. Now they put 1 man in this leading group again. Well, the second group actually, because this is the leading group here, as they continue now. Just one small climb before the finish, and that's all that lies ahead of them now. Working very, very well together, this group.
Your screens, interesting chase here for the third spot.
And Carlo Yasul takes it for the Philippine national squad. There it is, he gets the 1 point behind Domingo Valdez. So the overall situation down the Adidas sprint standings, Valdez and Kidemit are equal. Domingo is only a point behind. What a great competition this is turning out to be this year amongst the sprinters. Now they're trying to reach the stage finish first. I wonder if they'll do it. Is this going to be Domingo's day?
As you rejoin us, we are about to pass the Bataan War Memorial. Bataan, of course, is beacon, a symbol of defiance against the Japanese forces that were invading the Philippines in 1942.
Show of defiance, here we are on the only climb of the day, the third country king of the mountains. And these two leaders here, Domingo and Valdez, now 3 minutes and 5 seconds ahead of a small developing chasing group of 6 riders. They're riding back to the top, gaining any ground on the trail of those 6 riders going clear of the group containing the yellow jersey, while further back, One Camp Pro, the defending champion, and Victor Espiritu are losing even more time today, so I think their chances of Dream of Glory this year are now over. Here's the chasing group. We're around about that 3 minutes and 5 seconds back, with Rossley of Malaysia, the only non-Philippine rider in that group. And these two riders in the lead for the best part of 90 kilometres now, with Domingo taking so far all 4 sprints along the way. He's now looking for his nap hand by taking victory down in Subic.
Number 76 is Gregorio Belbronio, who is at 50th overall.
He's riding very, very well today. 1 or 2 new names in the chase groups today. They begin to find their legs at last, despite the toughness of this race. And still these two leaders, rivals they may be, but they are sharing the water along the road because they are fighting a battle of survival as well.
Well, basically the cast has been the same over the last 7 or even...
On the road is the group containing the yellow jersey. There he is, of Navadinia. But still Kidemit not up here yet. So that 53-second gap is a little bit more at the moment between the top 2 in the race. Here is Kidemit, found himself 3 helpers to try and bridge now from the back of the race to the front. And the message is he is closing in on the group ahead. Valdez again, you see, he knows he cannot match this man at all. He's led him to the line, and now this is an absolute show for the crowd here. Domingo has gone clear. He has won everything on the road today. He's got the nap hand, every sprint, every mountain, and now he's won the stage as well.
Oh, the traditional lifting of the bike keeps me amazed how they can do that after hours of riding.
There's the arrival of the yellow jersey. 3 minutes 36 I put him down as it comes over the line in quite a large group. 53 seconds is the gap going into the rest day now. Domingo lies 7th, Valdez 8th. They didn't hold the position today, by the way. Ryan Tomby, he's up now, best placed young rider in 13th place. Here's the man in the yellow jersey though.